Hello and welcome back to Vintage Disney here on Brian's Things That Are Cool. Today we'll be discussing the 1958 Mickey Mouse Club serial Annette. But first, here's a little background on Miss Funicello. Annette Joanne Funicello was born on October 22, 1942 in Utica, New York, and moved to California when she was 4. She was incredibly shy, so her parents enrolled her in music and dance lessons to help her come out of her shell. In 1955, when she was 12 years old, she played the Swan Queen in a Starlight Bowl production of Swan Lake. Sitting in the audience during the recital was Walt Disney, who was looking to put together a children's variety show for the then new medium of television. Annette was the last to be selected, and one of the few to be hand-selected by Walt himself. She proved to be so popular that by the end of the first season, she was receiving 6,000 letters a month. This led to a singing career, including a top 10 hit with Tall Paul, and appearances in Walt Disney productions such as Zorro, Spin and Marty, and of course, Walt Disney Presents Annette. Annette premiered on the third season of the Mickey Mouse Club on February 10, 1958, and starred Richard Deacon, Mary Wilkes, David Strollery, and Tim Considine of Spin and Marty, and of course, Annette. So let's follow along with Annette and all of her adventures in Walt Disney's Annette. We first meet Annette playing Annette McCloud as she moves from farm life to her Aunt and Uncle's house in the city. There, Annette starts to experience all the typical things that happen to the new kid. At a party, Annette is accused of stealing the necklace of a jealous girl named Laura, played by Roberta Shore. But in reality, the necklace fell into the piano as the kids were hanging out outside. And in the end, Annette and Laura become friends. Perhaps it's not the most complicated plot and can be seen as rather quaint by today's standards, but I enjoyed seeing familiar faces and locations. For instance, Disney's animation building stands in for their high school, and I love 1950s fashion. Steady, played by Rudy Lee, wears some hip 50s clothes, some of which I've seen on reproduction sites, like Swanky's Vintage. As I mentioned in my Spin and Marty episode, we live in a tense atmosphere in these modern times. So once in a while, it's nice to go back to an idylized, wholesome, monochrome world of malt shops and sing-alongs. And to quote Jimmy Dodd's theme song, "Who's the one you can't forget? I'll give you just 3 guesses. Annette, Annette, Annette." After the serial, Annette stayed on at Disney for a couple more years, making such films as The Shaggy Dog and Babes in Toyland, before moving on to Teen Idol Beach movies with Frankie Avalon, with which she was quite successful. Sadly, in 1987, Annette started to experience the early symptoms of MS. She went public with her diagnosis in 1992, and in 1993 she opened the Annette Funicello Fund for Neurological Disorders. On April 8, 2013, Annette passed away at the age of 70 at Mercy Southwest Hospital in Bakersfield, California. She will always be remembered as America's girl next door. Rest in peace, Annette. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my look back at the 1958 Mickey Mouse Club serial Annette. If you want to be kept up to date as to when I release a new video, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And if you really want to be notified, hit that bell as well. And please take a moment to donate to the Annette Funicello Fund for Neurological Disorders. I've included the link at the end of this video. Thank you and good night.